Hey, welcome back. Tim here, Gamiviti. Excited today, very excited. I have a video to announce our next generation roof rack receiver. So quite a few innovations have gone into this. It's the original quick release awning mount, been out for more than 10 years now. Finally got a nice refresh of some new features. So let's jump into it. I think you're gonna dig it. So as you probably know from the product or other product videos, the original was and is a 1-inch square tubing welded to a plate bolted to your roof rack. And then inside goes a 3/4 inch square welded to a plate that's gonna mount to your awning. So this piece doesn't really change much. We added one hole, no big deal, but this piece is now a single formed sheet metal part, which looks like this. So how is it different? Let me show you. For one, it's now open. So no longer can dirt and water and stuff really get stuck in here like in the older version. So it should stay a little bit cleaner. And also we offset these planes here. So on the old one, if you recall, looked like that. We had to add a bunch of spacer washers. So you were doing a little bit of a put the bolt in, put the spacer in, line it up, and then that whole thing was there to get it to where it was parallel with the rack. It worked, but it wasn't the cleanest thing. It's something that always kind of bothered me. So finally, I'm psyched to have finally innovated that. And so now no more spacer washers. Another one is just multiple offset positions on how you dial in your awning. Comes up a lot with tents, where the tent is a little bit wider than the rack. So in the old version, we had basically two spots. You could be that hole, or you could be that hole. Now with the new one, you have multiple spots where those holes are going to line up to allow you to go a little bit further out and even a little bit further in. But probably the best innovations are going to be based on your feedback and your requests for improvements to those in this product, excuse me. Specifically, there's been some rattling, especially on lighter weight awnings, where the awning can kind of jiggle a little bit. And we've talked about putting a little electrical tape on there, or maybe weld a set screw in there. Well, anyway, this solves that. Also, some people have asked for a little bit of a anti-tamper, anti-theft solution. You know, because if you can just pull a pin and slide an awning out, what's stopping somebody else from doing that? So not a huge deal for a lot of us, but hey, yes, it's something we can certainly incorporate into this design, and we have. So waiting for a customer to roll up here, and we're gonna pull off his old setup, and then we're gonna compare the old versus the new, and hopefully send him off with an upgrade. Cut back, quick comparison to old versus new from the jiggle, the rattle standpoint. So just goes without saying, in order to get one tube inside another tube, there has to be some clearance there. If it's line to line, it'll get stuck, it'll never come back out. So this is the old setup, and you can see this is, yeah, it rattles a little bit. The heavier the awning, the less it does, but lighter weight awnings, you can definitely hear this. So here's the new setup. I've added a 1/4 inch by 1.5 length, so 1/4 by 1.5 bolt, and a nylon nut. What that allows me to do is, when I tighten this, I can pinch that U-channel profile. I can pinch that where I couldn't pinch that with the square tubing. And then I run the pin kind of as far away as possible from that bolt. I could also pull this pin out and put 2 bolts in there, or even 3 bolts if I really wanted to go crazy. But for this purpose, I think you get the point. You can see this. It does not move, it does not rattle, it's not gonna jiggle. Certainly this little ear on the pin, might shake a little bit, but we can tie that back if it really bothers us. So in any case, we've absolutely solved the old jiggle issue that you were having before, and also provided you a way to you know, do a little bit of a theft deterrent, a little bit of an anti-tamper. It's a pain to loosen these nylon nuts. You need 2 7/16 wrenches in this case to get that loose, but you could also upgrade that to more of a security nut and a special socket if you want to do that. You can buy those on Amazon or pretty much anywhere now. Anything 1/4 inch is going to fit right through this, so have fun with that, and hope you like it.
What's up?
Well, hello, my friend. Get over here. I'm good. I am good. I got a dirty old truck because I went out and snuck out in the desert last weekend.
Good for you.
Yeah, it was great.
Where'd you go?
Great.
Yeah, so here's the setup. 2 rack receivers, holding this awning just fine, but a little bit of a shaking that we want to address. So pull this off, swap them out, see what happens. All right, so I got the new ends bolted up. That's what that looks like. No real surprises there. Front, really nice, works really well without those spacer washers. And next to the tower, super clean, how there's just enough space for both of these to kind of play together on the plate. You'll still have to do like the share thing if you need to use the same bolt for both the tower and the rack receiver. And then of course offset it with just a, you know, washer or something like the old spacer washers. But for this setup, it's great. No extra hardware needed. And we can lift that awning on. All right, we got that guy in, and right away, this is 2 pins per, and it still moves a little bit, but we've probably taken 80% of that rattle out of there. Let me show you what it looks like up top. Running 2 pins for now, and I'd say at a minimum, you want to run 2 pins and have them be as far apart as possible, just to kind of help you with the mechanics here. But you see, we still have a little bit of movement there. Not a big deal. But we really cleaned that up. Bird's eye view of the back. So now I've swapped out one of the pins for a 1.5 inch long 1/4 bolt and a nylon nut. And this guy literally cannot move. You can't see me shaking on this, but there's no way that rattles ever again. Same thing from the back. Now with the bolt, I mean, really, we've solved the rattle thing. We've also made it harder to take that awning off, which can be a good thing if that's what you're going for. Could be a bad thing. That's not what you want, but now you have that option. And that's it. So all buttoned up, ready to go. Customer's happy, and I'm happy. Man, we upgraded something. We innovated. So that is what it's all about. Thanks again for watching this one, and I appreciate your comments. Let me know your questions. Of course, let me know what else you want to see in videos as well as products. And as always, I'll see you on the next one.